Good day everyone, you are welcome to today's tutorial. In this video, I want to show you how to delineate specific watershed in ArcGIS. So let's get started. In ArcGIS, the first thing to do is to bring in our digital elevation model we want to use to delineate watershed. So to do that, I'll click on Add Data. Navigate to your folder where you have the digital elevation model. In this case, I want to use this specific digital elevation model. Select it and click on Add. Now here is my digital elevation model. Let's assume that I am working in this area. I'm interested in this specific area and I want to extract the watershed of this very particular area. In this video, I'll show you how to get it done accurately. So the first thing to do, we need to fill this digital elevation model, and to do that, come to Arc Toolbox, then come to Spatial Analysis tool, come to Hydrology, then here is Fill. Double click to open Fill tool. Then our input service raster, click here and select your digital elevation model. Then our output service raster, navigate to your working folder. So let's save it here as Fill. Then click on Save and click on OK. So the fill them is completed. So I can move this here a bit. Now the next action is to calculate the flow direction, and to do that, come back to your hydrology tools and come to flow direction. Double click to open the tools. Then the input service raster, it is going to be the fill them. So click here and select fill. Then our output flow direction, navigate to your working folder. Let's call this flow direction. Then click on Save. Leave other thing at default and click on OK. Yes, the flow direction is done. So the next thing now is to calculate the flow accumulation, and to do that, come here and double click this flow accumulation tool. Then our input flow direction raster, click here and select the flow direction. Then our output accumulation raster, click here, navigate to your working folder. Let's call this flow accumulation. Then click on Save. So leave the output data type as float, and also flow direction type, leave it as D8, and click on OK. Yes, here is our flow accumulation. You may not be able to see it very well. If I zoom in, you may not be able to see it very well. So what we need to do, come to this flow accumulation, right click and come to Properties. So come under Symbology. So instead of straight, let's classify it. Click on Classify. Then click here, that is Classify, and select the number of classes as 2. And then the break value, let's leave this at 5,000 raster value. I will show you later the reason for this 5,000. So click on OK and click on OK. So we can change the color. Let's change this color to white and change this color, let's say, to blue, and click on OK. So you'll be able to see the streams in this area very well. So the next thing now is to calculate the basin raster. So to do that, come back to this hydrology, and here you can see basin. Double click to open the basin tool. Then input flow direction raster. Click on the drop down and select the flow direction. Then our output, navigate to your working folder. Let's call this Basin raster. Then click on save and click on OK. Yes, let me zoom to extent. Here you can see the Basin raster. Now the next thing we need to do, we have to convert this raster to polygon. That is, we need to vectorize this Basin raster. So what this process did was to extract a Basin raster from the flow direction for this very study area. And remember that our interest was this area. So now we have to convert it to polygon. And to do that, come to Conversion Tool, scroll up and come to Conversion Tool. Click on it, and here you will see from raster, expand it. It will be from raster to polygon. Double click it. Then click on this drop down and select the Basin raster. Then leave the field as value, and then our output polygon feature, click here, navigate to your working folder. Let's just name it Basin, and then click on save and click on OK. So it will convert this Basin raster to polygon. Yes, it has converted them to polygon. And if I uncheck this, and then let me check our initial them. Recall that our interest was this area. Now that I've converted it to polygon, if I check it, you can see the particular basin that covers that area. So what I can do is to extract the basin that covers my study area or area of interest. So to do that, I can just select two and click on the particular basin that covers my study area, which is this. So now what I can do is to use it to create a separate layer. And to do that, as I have selected it, come to this basin layer, right click and come to data. Then click on export data. Then navigate to your working folder. Here is my working folder. So let me name this as Watershed. Then click on save and click on OK. So click yes to add it to your map. Then I can uncheck this and clear selection. So you can see this is the particular watershed that covers my study area. So you can see it here. So I can choose to change the symbology. So I can click here. Let's change the symbology to hollow and change the color, let's say to red, and click on OK. So this is the basin or watershed that covers my study area. Now the next action for me is to find all the rivers that drains this very particular watershed. So to do that, I have to come back to Arc Toolbox and then scroll down and come to Map Algebra. This is Map Algebra. Expand it, and here you can see raster calculator. Double click it. So here we want to use raster calculator. We want to extract the streams or rivers inside the watershed. So we want to extract the rivers whose raster value is greater than 5,000. So to do that, you have to use this flow accumulation. So the formula is flow accumulation greater than 5,000. So what that means is that all the drainages that are greater than 5,000 raster value should be extracted. Then click here to navigate to your working folder. So let's name this as raster river. Then click on save and click on OK. So it will extract all the drainages or rivers that are greater than 5000 raster value. Yes, it has been extracted. If I zoom in, you can see the rivers here. Now it is in raster format. We need to convert it to vector. So, and to do that, come back to your Arc toolbox and come to conversion tools. Then we want to convert it from raster. It will be from raster to polyline. Double click to open the tool. So our input raster is going to be the raster river. Navigate to your working folder. So let's name this as drainage. Then click on save and click on OK. So it will convert it to polyline. Yes, it is done. So let me uncheck this and zoom to extent. I can uncheck this as well. So you can see our drainages here. So now we have to extract or clip our river that is within our study area. And to do that, we will use clip tool. So to do that, just come to Geoprocessing and click on clip. Then our input feature, click here and select the drainage. And our clip feature will be our study area, which is the watershed. Then click here to save it in your working folder. So let's call it river and click on save. Then click on OK. So it will clip only the river or drainage within our study area, that is within the watershed. Yes, it's done. So I can uncheck this and then I can zoom my watershed to layer while I close this. So you can see how I specifically extracted or delineated the watershed of my interest, and I also extracted the streams or rivers that drain the watershed. So in the next video, we are going to see how to calculate the length of river within watershed. But in essence, this is how to delineate watershed or specific watershed in ArcGIS. Thank you for watching.